Hey there, internets. This is Kyle with another edition of the My Business Launch Secrets YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing well today. Today, let's talk about some progress I made in getting my podcast put together, which is pretty sweet. Slowly getting the pieces put together to have my whiz-bang social media and content generation empire launched into orbit. Today is Monday and I should have been working today, but my back still feels like shit. So I did not go into work today, and that's okay. I did go to my chiropractor, so he did some adjustments, did some electrical shock, whatever stuff on my back muscles to try to help calm them down, and gave me some supplements to help relax the muscles in my back. But still feels like shit, frankly. That's okay. I mean, nobody's a miracle worker, but it's just going to take time to work itself out. In any case, aside from laying around, which I think I realized towards the end of the day that laying around all day was probably not the best to help work whatever this is out of my back, this kinks or knots, or I don't know what the hell happened, but nothing structurally is wrong, just I don't know what the hell happened, just like a Charlie horse in my back that won't go away or something. It's weird. In any case, as I was laying in the bed, I did start to get some work done. And I was just doing some more research on podcasting and ended up buying some crap on Amazon because why not? What else do you do when you're laying around depressed and feeling like shit? You buy stuff on Amazon. But I bought a few things I'd like to use with my podcast to record, both for the audio and for the visual video, which I'm not going to do here in this location. I'm going to do it downstairs in my other office that I'm still trying to get set up, but I think it's complete enough that I can start putting some videos together down there. So I just got some lights and different stuff to make it look cool-ish and all that. But then the other cool thing I did was, I don't know, one video series I'm watching that I think Buzzsprout puts out in terms of, podcasting 101 type stuff, learning about the process. They said, you should try to get a podcast intro jingle thing done if you can so afford it. And they gave a couple of sites that you can go to get some free audio clips and whatnot. And so I went to go check that out. I forget which one I ended up using. I think Audio Jungle, maybe, I think it was. And found a cool little sound clip. You kind of get like pieces of a similar soundscape overall, and then you can piece together to, fill up the right amount of space that you want for whatever you're doing. And then I did a voice track that I overlaid with that audio track. And so I had to figure out what I wanted to actually say in an introduction, and then I also did an outro and recorded those, did the mixing myself. I mean, very relatively minimal amount of mixing, just tweaked some of the audio a little bit. And I think it came out pretty badass. And it's hard for me to just let you listen to that on this thing because I don't have any, I would have to edit this video to insert at the clip, which I'm not going to do because I don't produce these videos. I just record them and upload them. So if I just played it on my speakers and tried to get the mic to pick it up, that would sound like dog shit. So I'm not going to do that, but maybe at some point I will do that, or you'll just have to wait until I actually get the podcast episode launched, and then you can go and check it out for yourself. But one thing, again, to note is what I kind of decided to do in terms of What I was going to say in the intro and outro was, once again, largely based around the man, the legend, Russell Brunson. So his Marketing Secrets podcast, so he's doing the same thing. I would like to kind of mimic what he does with his podcast, which is, and I don't know if he does this well. I think more recently he's got a much more slick production thing set up, but back in the day it was a little less production, whatever stuff went into it. So it's just kind of him on his phone talking about stuff. But what he does on most of the episodes here is, has some short little blurb, which I know you can't hear this. It doesn't matter, but him saying something about whatever, hey, on this episode I want to talk about that. And then boom, now you see you got a video intro on the YouTubes, which of course if you're just listening to the podcast, you just hear the audio track from this, of course. And this is about a 30-second intro. I actually stepped my way through that and actually transcribed all the words there from that intro and based my intro around that. Okay, so you got that intro and then boom, he's into the podcast episode. And then he has an outro back at the end, which I noticed he kind of does change these up a little bit. This one says like, hey, if you want to see behind the scenes of ClickFunnels or whatever, you should check out funnelhacker.tv, because they used to record behind the scenes episodes or whatever. And so the thing about this is I believe, I don't know, but I believe what they do, of course, is probably, I mean, he was recording these just on his phone, so it's pretty, again, it's not like multiple cameras and all this sort of stuff, but he records a video on his phone, sends it to his guy that does all his editing for him. That guy, I assume, takes the video, pastes in that intro video section, pastes in that outro video section, so the video then is done for the YouTubes, and then just strip the audio from that, and boom, that's the audio track for your podcast. So it kind of simplifies in the fact that you're only editing like one thing, which is the video, and you're tweaking the audio along with the video, of course. And then once you have the video done, again, you just take that audio track and that's your podcast. It's not like you're doing separate editing then for the podcast audio, right? So seems like a smart thing to do. Save some time, which of course I'm very interested in doing at this point, and so I would like to do that. So the thing I haven't figured out how I'm going to do is this intro video, which again would be some B-roll. He used like B-roll stuff from his events and whatnot. Of course, I don't have any of that, but I do have good old Canva. So I was just starting to look at doing video stuff in Canva, which I haven't done before. Just done like regular graphics, but Canva does do videos as well. So again, lots of free templates over here on the side that you see. And I was trying to play around with, like, you can set the settings for all these text objects for if they come in or out of the video. And so I just need to create a video that is 30 seconds long for the intro and like 45 seconds long for the outro or something. I realized those are a bit long for YouTube type stuff, but that's what Russell does, and what Russell does, I do. So that's what I'm going to do. And he's been doing podcasting quite a long time, and I think he's pretty successful at it in terms of his podcasts, pretty highly ranked in the business podcast area. So if people really hated what he did with his intros, I guess he wouldn't get that high ratings, perhaps. But so, yeah, I'm just going to play around with, again, some of these options here to decide I mean, I guess I kind of want to mix it up a little bit. And I did download DaVinci Resolve, which is a video editing tool, which I plan to use for editing the podcast videos, because I do want to have like 2 different camera angles just to kind of give it a little bit of visual interest. You know, I do want to spend a little more time for the podcasts I'm doing for PhD Secrets. So got to kind of think about what I want, how I want to edit things accordingly. And I'm not sure, like, if you, yeah, okay, so you can put multiple clips back to back, but then I'm not sure how you add a transition. Look at this, we're learning real time here. Dissolve, let's do a dissolve transition. So let's go back here, let's play that. Boom, dissolves into something else. Okay, so cool. Maybe I'll just kind of piece together some number of these clips, I guess, I don't know. And of course I could upload my own videos of random shit, but I don't think I want to do that really. Sorry, I'm kind of learning as I go here, but look at that. Bread and butter. Nice. Okay. So I need to come up with those video clips, and then I'll just have the audio that I already recorded, and I did that in Audacity. I think I mentioned that. So this is the, what is this? This is the outro. Okay. Yeah, so the outro is also a little bit long, but this one is my call to action, more or less. 2 things, you know, asking people to share, like, the podcast, and number 2, to go check out my newsletter subscription, which obviously is the whole point of doing this, is to drive people towards buying my shit. So I said, you know, go check out offtherecordletter.com. That's my funnel for that page that I've shown previously that will get people into my community and hopefully subscribe to my newsletter. I think that's just where I'll push people. This one is actually following, and there's not a video of it to show you, but following the nobsletter.com magnetic marketing podcast, which they don't have videos of, but on the podcast that they have, and it's like clips from Dan Kennedy or whatever, and at the end, Russell Brunson does the intro and outro since he owns the company, and on the outro he says, hey, you know, basically does what I did because I mimicked him. It says, hey, thanks, if you enjoyed this, be sure to share it with your friends, and oh, by the way, you know, Dan has come up with this great, incredible free gift, most incredible free gift ever. Just go to nobsletter.com to check it out. You get $20,000 worth of great free stuff, and all you have to do is say maybe, blah, blah. Typical marketing pitch, which I followed pretty much to the T. So that's what they do on that podcast. So I said, well, again, if Russell does it, why shouldn't I do it? What would Russell do? I should check if that domain name's taken or not. So anyway, I've got those 2 main key components for my podcast done. So that's good. Checks that box. Just need to, as I'm still need to get the physical area laid out so I can start doing recordings. I'd probably next need to just start mapping out what the first several episodes are going to actually be about, have some generic outline. I don't really want these to be something that's like fully scripted, and, you know, I know some people do that, but I don't. That would just take me too long, I think, and I'm not I'm not a guy that really likes to follow script in anything I've ever done. Very rarely, and I've given lots of talks and briefings at different conferences and whatnot, and usually I do kind of practice what I want to say, and of course in those situations I have an outline of sorts to go off of, because I'm usually briefing some PowerPoint charts. But even though I generally know what I want to say, I don't like have the exact words written out that I'm going to say. I just generally know what I want to talk about on each chart and follow along from there. So that's what I would like to do. I guess the only other thing I don't know if I'm going to do or how I would do it is if I wanted to have some graphic via video, which obviously the audio podcast you wouldn't see, so you wouldn't want to do a lot that somebody would not understand the context if you were showing something visually. But I think like Alex Hormozy has done that on his podcasts, which he again also does the same thing of posting it to YouTube, where even if you're just listening to the podcast, it still kind of makes sense. But I mean, it's clear that when he's saying certain things, he's like writing something down and showing it visually. I think he uses like a tablet or something to connect that you can see on his videos that he puts out. But I don't like have a tablet or anything to do that, and I don't thought about like just doing it physically on paper and having an overhead camera, but I don't have like that many cameras. I do have an old GoPro. I guess I could use that, but then it's just you start adding more and more cameras, and it's just like that just adds to all your editing and production time that you're gonna have to take. So not sure I want to do that. So maybe initially I'll just not do that. Just have an outline of what I kind of want to talk about. And just do that off the cuff, more or less. It would certainly be a little bit more rehearsed than just what I do here, because obviously this is just my rambling stream of thought, stream of consciousness type of video. As I'm keeping myself accountable on my journey from $0 to $1 million and starting a new online business part-time. I still have a day job and family and other responsibilities to take care of, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, that's about where I'm at today. I think I'll go to bed now, if I can make it to the bed without collapsing. So hope you're doing well. Keep on kicking ass, taking names, and I'll see you next time. Peace.